Hi, I'm Emily Johnson, founder of Polaris Capital Advisors, and this is Money Matters, the show where we aim to inspire your financial confidence. This has been our summer of getting back to the basics of financial planning, and this week is along the same lines. We're covering something that is basic, but oh so not basic, the topic of family and money on vacation. And as always, our topics are inspired by you, our viewers, and by our clients, and this topic is no different. It's one that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure one that many of you out there can relate to as well. So please stick with us, and we'll be right back with our coverage of family, money on vacation. Hi, I'm Emily Johnson. Welcome back to Money Matters. Today we're discussing the perennial topic of family and money on vacation. How basically to create a financial plan for your vacation that doesn't break the bank and also minimizes the inevitable, as best we can do, family drama that surrounds family vacations, whether it's multi-generational travel, extended family, or multi-family travel. We've all been there, and there are steps that we can take to maximize the joy of the vacation and hopefully minimize some of the financial stress and the drama around these events. And I'm sure that many of you are living it right now or have spent some time doing this summer, so hopefully this can be of some help to you. Here's one of our favorite, of course, vacation families of all to get us in the mood, and this is my attempt at a guide of what our dynamics are when it comes to family vacations. Here on our x-axis, we have days on vacation. On our y-axis, we have number of family members. And here we have the line of maximum enjoyment. So what we're saying is that at some point there's a certain number of days on vacation that is ideal given a certain number of family members. And if you have more family members on that vacation than is ideal, you might have a nuclear meltdown. It's inevitable. And if you have more days on vacation, regardless of how many family members and how much you love them, you might also have a nuclear meltdown, or you could have pure happiness. So how do we try to achieve this line of maximum enjoyment when it comes to our finances on a family vacation? We have a three-point plan for doing this. And as I explain this three-point plan, be thinking about our happy family here, hopefully one that you can relate to. And that would be, in this example here, a multi-generational family where we have grandparents. We have maybe 2 to 4 siblings and their spouses, their kids and grandkids, and they all have different financial profiles. They have different cash flows. They have different perspectives on spending money. They have different backgrounds when it comes to family vacations and spending money. And then, of course, you have the wonderful family dynamics that everybody has when you put all of these families together. But the one goal, of course, is to make great memories, to make great and lasting memories. So how can we do that and not be derailed with our finances on our family vacation? Number one, have a plan, and a plan that's based on values first and budget. And when I say value, I don't mean, am I getting a great value for my rental car? I mean, what is this vacation supposed to mean for me and my family? Is it together time? Is it together time exploring? Is it that my value is that we cook together every night and that's something that's become a family tradition? What is that value that we want to have on this vacation, and focus on that first? And once you have that value in mind of what you want the vacation to be, then you can look at the budget. That's not to say that the budget is secondary. It's to say if you start looking with the budget, you're already looking dollars and trying to squeeze a lot out of your dollars, as opposed to looking at what do I really want my dollars to do first, and then how can I maximize the dollars in that direction and minimize them somewhere else. So having a plan centered around values and budget, number one. So how do you do that? It's easier said than done, right? Not really. First, list the major expenses of the vacation. Either do it in a notepad, do it in Excel, send it out to your family members, whatever. But you all know the big ones. It's going to be airfare, house rental, condo rental, groceries, babysitters, that type of thing. So list those big major expenses first. Then send it out to the family and decide, is this actually, what do we value here? Do we value the house with the pool because we all want to hang out together all day long? Or do we value something that's going to be close to a lot of shops because some people like to go out shopping and some are going to want to go to the beach? Where are our values around these expenses and where do we want our dollars to go first? And don't let these decisions be made for you. Have the discussion with your immediate family first. So if you and your spouse share a bank account, which most spouses do, then you might want to have that discussion with him or with her first and say, we have X dollars for vacation. Where do we want these dollars to go? What's most important for us? Have that discussion with them before you go out to your extended family and have that discussion with them. In other words, sort of work from the top down as opposed to having the decisions be made for you. Or I know I always get sort of a little bit of family guilt if I'm not in agreement. So sometimes if you can have that conversation in advance, it minimizes the drama and minimizes the guilt. And then also, this is a biggie. Once you have that budget, assume a 10% wiggle room, because you know the inevitable will happen, and you want to make sure that if you have to get that extra Uber ride home, that nobody's angry at having to spend that extra $20 at coming home from dinner in an Uber. So have the wiggle room. It'll minimize the stress. Build it into your budget. It's going to happen. So having a plan is going to minimize the spur-of-the-moment decisions that can derail a budget and strip a family vacation of enjoyment. Super simple, right? But when you put it into action, it actually makes a huge difference. So this is our sub-bullet. Once you arrive at that destination, yes, you can have your fantastic plan all laid out, maybe even bring it with you with line items and dollar amounts and everything. If you're type A like I am, you might do that. But once you get on vacation, make sure that you don't keep an accounting back and forth. It's really hard if you're thinking about one person goes out and buys the groceries and then the next person goes out and buys 3 glasses of wine, and then you try to figure out, is it worth the same thing? That sort of becomes a tit for tat that just increases the family drama. That's why I suggested having that 10% wiggle room in your budget so that you can account for not having to take an accounting throughout the vacation. That was my sub-bullet. So bullet point number 2, communicate. Communicate that plan and communicate those values and the budget with your spouse first, or whoever it is that you share the bank account with that you're going to be traveling with, and make sure that you both have a shared understanding of what the values are and what the budget is before you go on vacation, and talk about the wiggle room so that you know that it's there. Once that's down, then you can talk to your extended family and let them know, this is what we feel we can contribute, this is what we're comfortable with, these are the things that we value, are we all in alignment? That way, everybody's kind of on the same page in advance. So the plan is going to be irrelevant if it's really not communicated clearly and has buy-in from everybody. And then lastly, use technology. If you have family everywhere, which is really one of the beautiful things about coming to Hilton Head, is you have extended family that can come in and all enjoy one fantastic vacation location, sometimes it's hard to coordinate, right? That's normal. We all have a lot going on. So there's 2 big areas that can simplify your vacation planning and hopefully improve your vacation budget as well. One is just scheduling apps. And this sounds really complex for something that should be so much fun, but it's really not. They simplify a lot. So scheduling apps like Outlook, shared Google calendars, other shared calendaring systems, there's several of them out there. These are just 2 that many people have already on their phone or in their workplace that you can send out and coordinate who's going to be doing dinner on Friday, who's going to do dinner on Saturday, who's got the rental cars. Just checking those boxes, it really improves communication. And then last is payment apps. Instead of everybody trying to remember a checkbook or sending cash, Venmo, PayPal, online bank transfers, super, super simple. You can do it from your phone. It avoids that back and forth and allows you to stick to a budget a little bit better. And if you've communicated something, to follow through on what you've communicated. So, in conclusion, if you want to maximize your family vacation fun, not break the bank, and focus on the memories that you're creating and not the drama and the stresses, what's the plan of attack? Number 1, have a plan that's based on values first and your budget. Try to include some wiggle room in that budget, and try not to keep an accounting once you're actually on vacation of who does exactly what. Sit back and enjoy as long as you've put together a clear budget. Next, communicate that plan with your family and extended family. And lastly, use technology to simplify your finances. So, I hope that this has been helpful and educational for you, and I hope that if you can use any of these tools to improve your enjoyment of your vacation, we've done our job. So thank you very much for joining us today. We'll be back next week with more Money Matters and getting back to basics. Have a great week.